Hi, you're welcome to today's class. My name is Dr. Isagboyin Henry, and we are continuing with our lecture series on human nutrition. Today we are taking lesson note 34, Biochemical Assessment. Lesson note 34, Biochemical Assessment. Biochemical assessment is a critical tool in determining nutritional status, which helps to identify deficiencies or excesses of nutrients in individuals or population. In other words, biochemical assessments is very important in helping to be able to assess or determine or evaluate the nutritional status of individuals. That way you can know what is deficient, what is in excess, and you can understand at what volume or concentration that will be needed to be added or reduced or worked on. Biochemical assessments measure the specific biochemical markers or the metabolites in body fluids such as blood or urine, which reflect nutrient status. Now, these tests can detect deficiency or abnormalities even before clinical signs manifest, and this makes them valuable in both individual and population level assessment. Let's see the types of biochemical tests. You have the static test, and then you have the functional test. The static tests measure the concentration of nutrients or other metabolites in body fluids, providing a snapshot of nutrient levels. Examples include serum levels of vitamin A, iron, which is known as ferritin, calcium, and albumin. On the other hand, functional tests, this assesses the physiological effect of nutrient deficiencies or excesses. For example, you have the dark adaptation test assessment, which happens to assess vitamin A status. And you have the immune response test, which can indicate deficiencies in micronutrients like zinc. Take note of these two examples: the dark adaptation test for vitamin A status assessment, and also the immune response test, which is needed for indicating deficiencies in micronutrients like zinc. What are the limitations? The results of biochemical tests may be influenced by various factors like infections, inflammation, which can alter the concentrations of certain biomarkers. And this will make them less reliable in specific circumstances, because when this biochemical test is carried out, there are factors that have a way of interfering with it. And when it interferes, such like that of infections or maybe that of inflammation, it has a way of altering the concentration such that the results that will be obtained after the readings, it might be false positive, elevated, or negatively reduced. So you will find error, and that may not give you the desired results. And also you have issues of machines that probably cannot read them because of the level of their quantity. Those ones are largely micro quantities, and in the period of evaluation. And also you could have challenges that could come up from exogenous external factors. Not all nutrients can be easily assessed using biochemical tests, and these tests can be expensive, very much expensive, and may not be available in all settings. Now let's see the biochemical test in practice. You have the micronutrient deficiencies. Now the micronutrient deficiencies, that is laboratory tests like ferritin for iron, serum retinol for vitamin A, serum calcium for vitamin D, they can help screen for common deficiencies. In fact, you have this essentially like serum calcium vitamin for vitamin D. You have it in the bone profile that is being done in the laboratory. You have tests like ferritin for iron, which is done in the area of hematological indices, just like your full blood counts and so on. Now, for infectious conditions, you have biochemical assessments which help in diagnosing conditions like malaria, tuberculosis, parasitic infections, because they often coexist with malnutrition. So you have these biochemical tests that will help you in diagnosing it. Now, there are biochemical tests assessments which is done at population level. And they are used for public health surveillance so that they can monitor micronutrient status in communities and to also inform interventions. And you also have regular screening, which helps in identifying the vulnerable population, such as the pregnant women or children at risk of malnutrition. So that's all about biochemical tests that you need to know. You can read more, you can read wide under these topics. However, if you have any question, make sure you ask your questions on the Google Classroom, and ensure that you take notes when you need to take notes, and also understand this audiovisual as much as possible. This is all you need to know for this particular topic. See you in the next class. Bye.